Hello everyone, welcome to another Flat Cap interview. We don't normally do these little intros, but there is a reason for it. You probably know we went on a bit of a road trip earlier in the year through to Melbourne, where we did a few interviews with Justine Keenan, Gaz Byrne, Kata Gotham. We did one other one with Tom Wolfpack. Unfortunately, when we transferred some of the footage over, we lost some of it. So we were a bit pissed off with that and a bit disappointed. But we've since had a look at the rest of it to see what we've actually got. And Tom's a great guy, full of energy, does a lot of good. So we feel like we should put it up so you can have a look and see what he's got to say. The band are pretty much a non-for-profit band. They do a lot of gigs, and the music that they produce, most of the proceeds go to animal rescue centres and stuff like that. So, which in this day and age, I'm sure they all appreciate it, and fair play to Tom and the boys. It's something good that they do, and they obviously love doing it like that. So yeah, he's an interesting character. Very bubbly, full of life, loves what he's doing, and we feel that you should be get the chance to see it. So yeah, please take the time out to watch the interview and see what he's got to say, really. And just on a note for Tom, good luck to everything this year. We know you're off to the States to play, so I hope that all goes well, and thanks for the interview, mate. Sorry we lost some of it, but hopefully you'll enjoy what's on here. Cheers everyone, ta-da.
Like Jeff was just with us, like he needed to sort of flick the off switch and just like, hey man, 3 months, like let's just not do anything.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with no publicity budget, with no PR people behind us, with no agent, with no manager or anything like that, if we do that for 3 months, then everything everything goes back to sort of square one. And so again, no animosity involved or anything like that. It was just a case of like time to move on, and I'm super privileged and super humbled to have worked with the musos that I've worked, and some of the input that you get from people. It's so great, playing in a band and interacting and being locked in the jam room and stuff. But yeah, Kane's been with me for. I guess, if it's been 5 years, Kane's been with me for 4 years, 9 months or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
And will be with me to the end, I love that dude. He's such a great bloke. And Chase actually filled in for us when Brad, one of our guitarists, his mum got sick, and Chase filled in for us.
That's good as well, you see, isn't it? And like I said, there is no animosity.
No, I know.
You wouldn't bother coming back, would it? So it's good.
So it's really good, and so that's us. I mean, it's only 3 people. So Kane plays bass. I'm the drummer and lead singer. So I sing all the songs.
That's quirky and different. I mean, it's been done before, but I mean, not.
I mean, there's not that many bands around that play sort of full on blistering kind of thrash punk and stuff with a person who's stupid enough to want to sing and drum at the same time.
How's it work when you set up on stage? Because alright, the drummer's normally in the middle, but do you put the drums to
forward?
The front?
Okay, so we just and I really like that too.
People that haven't seen you before.
What's
going on here?
So we have big bass guitar and then drums in the middle, right down the front. And it's kind of nice because there is also no front person, it's all 3 of us just in a row and together and stuff.
That's good.
And it kind of that fits nice with us and everything. And just Chase on guitar and.
So how do the songs come about? Do you play other instruments as well?
No, I don't. So
how do
normally
the songs get written and?
Well, Kane's getting cheeky now. Kane's awesome. Yeah, he's great, man. I really can't sing my praises enough of that guy. It used to all start with me, and I'd have a vocal melody, and then I'd have lyrics written, and then I'd sort of start putting some drum patterns together. And then sort of Kane would come in and start laying down some root notes and things like that with the bass, and then we'd kind of build the skeleton from there. But now it's good. Now Kane comes in and he brings in songs, and I'm like, whoa, and he's nuts, man. He plays with his fingers on the bass. He's got 5 strings. Like he's way more talented than I am, So I'm I'm the one there trying to keep up with him on songs now. So it's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
But you both contributing then.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then as far as riffs go, as I say, once the skeleton's there, then Brad or now with Chase playing, Chase comes in and just adds over the top and throws it all in. And I mean, music's not something to be too precious about as well. It's something that should be organic. And I always find it funny when people are like, oh, you play in a band. I'm like, what do you do? And they're like, oh, I'm a lawyer. I'm like, far out, man. That's that's insane. So that amount of commitment and stuff. And so there's a lot of public perception that kind of makes more of music than what it is. Realistically, it's just expression, and cool, when it's done right, it's great, but realistically, whether it's done right or not, shouldn't actually stop someone from trying. You feel like you have that creative bone, or you want to, or you do want to express, just do it, because the more you play, the better you get. The better you get, the more you want to play. So you can't really lose. It's such a great thing, and and I think that ties back as well to to the industry side of it, in the way that they do have a machine and there's this this right way to do it and stuff. Nah, man, just do it, do it, and I think the most important thing for young bands, I help out a lot of young bands with contacts and stuff like that, and it's such a cool thing, and I love being able to hook them up with shows and stuff like that, and to gig with them and get them on tours and stuff, and so it's really cool.
That's predominantly when I see you, when you're coming through and you're tour managing or whatever.
That's it, and just trying to and trying to sort of be in a situation where I get to see as much music as possible, because it inspires me, and obviously B, because it makes me better at what I do, and C, because then I can also sing the praises of all these great bands. I
mean, I've not done a lot, but I've promoted a couple of gigs in Adelaide, and I've enjoyed it. It's hard work, but the rewards at the end of the day, when the guys there and the crowd are all having a good time, and the musos are on stage,
everyone's partying, and there's no
you feel like you've done a good thing for people.
Totally, because you're bringing them together,
connecting.
Exactly.
Not everybody's, because I sort of collar all my mates and what have you, come and see this, and they're going, oh, there's another one, who is it this time? Just come and have a listen, and some of them they love some of the bands, they don't like some of the others, but they still come, so
that's it.
It's good, but they're broadening their musical horizons and not just listening to the stuff on the radio.
That's it. Because it's all valid. Whether it is just whether it's a couple of 16-year-old punks, or someone who's been in the industry a while or whatever. It's all valid. All expression is great. And all expression is worthwhile. Whether it's poetry, whether it's art, anything that gets your emotions out, anything that helps you be the person that you are, anything that helps you be in a place that you are the best person you can be, that's all valid, that's all great, and so I think there needs to be more of that sort of debunking of the, oh wow, band up there kind of thing, and local gigs have that really well, and that's something that sort of we as people who do put on shows, and we as people who go to shows, need to sort of be conscious of and be aware of, in trying to sort of maintain that when it comes to bigger shows, where there just needs to be less of a separation from band to crowd, and more of that connection, where realistically, man, if you play in a band, you're a punter, right? There was one stage, right, where the only reason you played a band is because you used to go to gigs and you loved it, and so now that you're in a successful band, doesn't mean that you're not still a punter. So you still need to have that appreciation and respect of your crowd and of your audience.
The thing is, some of the bands, the bigger they get, the more distant they get from,
absolutely,
and they
so
shouldn't
weird.
they should be coming out of that dressing room when they're finished and going to the bar and having a beer, and doing the right thing by the people that have just paid to go and see them, and they've probably paid time and again if they're a big band.
That's right,
give a little bit back.
I was really impressed. Misfits did that, they were great. We played recently with Anti-Flag. They did that. I was lucky enough to, when I was young, I flew over from Perth, where I grew up, to come see bands walk. So I'm a massive Mighty Mighty Boss Stones fan, and they were over, and I was lucky enough to meet them, and they were just phenomenal people, and ended up taking me out for dinner and stuff like that, and just that's what it should be like. There is a.
But once you get talking to them, they're no different from you or right.
Yeah,
You know,
and
they're only different if you make them different. You know what I mean?
Or you buy into the
They're
media.
probably as shy as anybody.
Yeah,
You know,
or you buy into that industry, that bollocks that they are. And that's the thing, you know, like that's awesome. If everyone, you know, if everyone has time and appreciation of everyone else, it's common courtesy, man. That's the way it should be.
So you've and I was really chuffed for you. You got to go and tour in the States.
Yeah,
last
man.
Year, and
it was
probably on the
nuts.
cards again. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going back in May, which is awesome. So we've got half the tour locked down now. Last time we went over was 16 shows in 19 days. So it's intense.
Busy.
Yeah, man. We were lucky enough to do a run of shows with DRI, and it's a different world over there. It's really sad. It's really it was really eye-opening. America is fantastic because we weren't doing necessarily like the tourist spots. We were definitely on the road less travelled. And it was unbelievable, like experience of a lifetime. But capitalism is a really nasty, evil thing. So there's no middle class anymore in the States. You got the haves and the have-nots, and so it was exhausting because you have to look over your shoulder 24/7.
Yeah.
And you know one of the first things we did when we stopped, we were getting fuel, and there's a homeless person there, and we were talking to them, and like, America's crazy, man, because there's no support system in place. You're one bad mistake away from being on the street, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, and you know, literally, like in America, because the way the healthcare system is and stuff like that. So this person had seen a fight. There was 3-on-1. He was employed at the time, had a house, everything like that. He jumped in to help the one person. And he got hit, and when he got hit, he fell to the ground and he banged his head.
Yeah.
He got concussion, and he had to go to hospital. Now, when he went to hospital, he was in hospital for an extended stay because he actually like blacked out, and he had a minor head injury, but nothing that was going to stop him coming back to work.
Yeah.
But it was serious enough for him to spend a couple of weeks in hospital. Now, when he's gone to hospital, he hasn't been able to work. He's lost his job. Because he's lost his job, he's lost his health care. Now, this is someone who jumped into a situation to help his fellow man. Yeah. And so because he's lost his job, he's lost his health care, so he's come out of hospital with a debt. And then they've come after him for all his assets, and he now lives on the street. And we are in the process of like rolling cigarettes for him and like waiting until we've paid for the fuel so that we had some change left over from that. And whilst we were talking to him, this 3 like wankers, you know, in a big pickup truck, jumped out and like started to have a go at us because we were talking to this guy. These jocks, and they're just like, "What are you talking to him for? Don't encourage him." And like, so man, that's a fellow human being, and it's like, and that was our sort of first introduction to life on the road at the States. We get to the first gig, and it's scary, man, because the guns are over there. And so we noticed, and we got warned that there would be we're fiercely anti-racist, we're pro-feminist, we're all for animal equality and equality in all forms. And we got warned that, you know, there could potentially be like incidents with Nazi skinheads. And we're at our first gig. There was only 2 of them. And they didn't look like they were too much of a threat, but they were wearing white power t-shirts. The gigs are all ages over there, so you've got like, it's the best, man. You get to like, the country's falling apart, and you get to these gigs and it's dripping with passion because it's all they've got. And we're talking 14-year-old kids, man, with like battle vests on and like rad patches and like just living it. And their vibe, their energy, because they're stoked to be there, and they see this as like, this is the only thing good in their life. That vibe permeates through everyone there. So even though there's like people there drinking, the main vibe at the crowd isn't like dudes going out getting drunk. It's like the main vibe is these kids going, music, you know, and it's so cool. And so we set up the start, and I just said, look, we've come all the way from Melbourne. We're not going to start until they go, right? That's white power. That's not welcome here. So we can pack up all our equipment, right? And DRI are using it too, and that's the end of the show. Or they can go. It's up to you guys. And everyone just froze, man.
Did they?
And like no one knew what to do. And then thankfully, like security realised that we were serious, and they came over and they escorted this 2 out. And then everyone cheered. And then of course we realised afterwards the reason that the crowd didn't do anything is because they might have been holding broken pieces.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so but as soon as they got escorted out, everyone went nuts, and then we kicked the show, and it was awesome. We got a great response. Yeah.
Far out, man.
Yeah, and we're back. And then you know, like, and then it was so beautiful. Like after we finished, we had like, you know, these Mexican kids coming up to us, and they were like, you know, and hugging us, and like, and Ali, my partner, was there with us as well, and they were like hugging her, and it was like all of a sudden we were all family. They were getting photos together, and you know, it was.
You get a bit of a buzz from that as well, because it showed their appreciation.
Yeah,
as well,
it was the first time for a couple of them. They were saying like, that's the first time a whitey stood up for me, and it's like, fuck, man, that's what capitalism does. It pits us all against each other in a fight to get ahead, you know, and then of course America's nuts because they're all nuts, and in the best way. Like these people are so beautiful at these punk shows. Like I feel for them so much that their country is falling apart around them, and you know I am so humbled and so inspired by their efforts in carving out an existence, because I could not live there. I don't. It's intense, man, and here are these people that are just the best, and they're just so beautiful, and they are doing it, and they are not resorting to the violence that's around them. They are carving out this existence and making the most of very limited opportunities.
Trying to make it a better place,
wow, man, like that's so cool, and you know, and so then of course we have this random thing going on where, like, you know, we get to like Oakland. So this is in Chico, and then we played another show in Santa Cruz, and then we get to Oakland, and like. And now all of a sudden everyone knows our lyrics, and like, well, like, what's going on, man? And like when we were like, we had this like crazy gang, like, hey Luda, yeah. And then we had like, you know, we had this Latino gang come up to us, and they're like, hey, we heard about Chico, man. Like that shit was cool.
So
like,
around.
Like, you won't see us, but we see you, Wolfpack. We got your back. Like, and we're like, fuck, man, we're like gang connected now or something. What's going on? And like, but you know, like because they care, because it is all they've got. And
so are you going back to the same places when you go back? Yeah. So you've built up a bit of like a rapport with them and that, and then
it's great. Like, I mean, we were so lucky to have that opportunity, and you know, it was so awesome, and the response over there is so much more intense because it's a more intense place. Yeah. You know, and it's great. Like there was a band, kind of a cross band, but they're like, you know, they were called Isotope, and so when they were playing, and like, you know, they were really, really good band, and even though they were on first, oh darling, you get a kind of, even though they were on first, because they're a good band, the crowd starts circle pitting. Yeah, and then we saw the same in Seattle, like when Raw Dogs were playing, and they're cool, man. Check them out. They're like a psychobilly band. Okay. And when they start playing, they're really good. So the crowd starts circle pitting, you know. And so like if they like it, they'll get into it.
Way of showing it as well. Yeah.
And so that's really different to Australia. You know, I find that a lot of time there'll be a bit of a circle or whatever, but then, you know, the headline act like has the biggest circle kind of thing. But like, you know. In America, like if you're good, and like when you're looking out at a theatre, there's like 600 kids and they're all circle pitting. It's like, okay, sit, you know, like we are very humbled to be here. So
well, that's good. It gives you the buzz as well, doesn't it? You know, it makes it worthwhile for yourself. You know,
and also, like, you know, dude, we came back with $2,500 US in merch sales. Right?
Okay.
And so that all goes to animal. So you know, we went straight to Second Chance Animal Rescue, got $1,000. Victorian Dog Rescue got $1,000. Victorian Wildlife Rescue got $1,000. Like, you know, bang, like, and because, you know, again as well, like,
so you share it out around.
So the way it works is like when we do a release, that individual release will be for an organisation. So whether it's like Save a Dog Scheme, Victorian Dog Rescue, Second Chance Animal Rescue, and that way there's like, you know, an amount of money coming in, and then like for merch, just because of like it depends on the season, but with it being like fire season and stuff, we always go to Victorian Wildlife Rescue with merch. When it's not fire season, like when it's like puppy season and stuff like that, like then we go to like different animal shelters and stuff.
So depending on what's happening,
depends on what's going around and stuff. So the merch is kind of fluid, but then the releases are like all for one organisation. And then as well, like, you know, there are situations where Sometimes, you know, people are like, you know, in need of money. So like, you know, when like Pussy Riot got arrested and stuff, so we organised money to help pay for their legal, organised a fundraiser to help pay for their legal fees, and so that way we can do like a quick response gig where we can, like, you know, we know if we smash out a show, get together some bands and stuff, we can get, like, you know, anywhere from 500 to 1,000, just like bang, and so if someone needs it, so like quickly, you can sort of do that, you know, and the idea is just sort of, I don't know, music should have a message, you know, and music can help, you know, music can help, and
so have you got, what's the plans? EPs?
So what we do is, so we got we've got the second EP after our album will be coming out. We record that in February. February got nuts, far out. I mean, wish it was more spaced out, you know.
That's a short month as well.
Yeah, I know. That's the beauty of being in a band. Like, you know, sometimes it's there's nothing going, and then it pours. Yeah, and it's great, you know, when it pours, you got to roll with it. So so we'll be doing that in February. We hit the road with DRI. March, some mates of ours from WA are coming over. They're called Scalp Hunter. I know they played in Adelaide last time they came out and toured.
Okay, yeah.
If they are playing, then definitely go see them. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Speaking of WA, the Bob Gordons, Blind Spot, said Scalp Hunter. Them Sharks are amazing. Check out Them Sharks. They're like reggae, kind of like really cool, like very sublime influence. Also TRS, Black Witch, The Others, and Beer Fridge, and then we get to Adelaide. I mean, you know Adelaide just as good as I do, but I've got to send a shout out to Ratcatcher. She's the band. Also No Curses, Talca, a new band that we really dug. God damn it, what a great band. We're lucky enough to be a part of Scumfest that Steve puts on. Pro Tools are awesome. Profiteers are awesome. Young Offenders, who we talked about before. There's so many great bands. Melbourne, I heard you spoke with Jay Stevens before. Jay's fantastic, man. There's a great array of bands from all sorts from Melbourne, like, you know, younger punk bands like Dixon Cider, Road Rash, Wing Attack Plan R. Oh man, and the fuck ups. There's Coffin Wolf. Obviously you've got Clowns, obviously you've got the Bennies, you've also got Worst Nurse, you've also got Flower, Join the Amish, play wicked crossover thrash, go check that band out. Sydney, Ebola Goldfish, Nerdling are amazing, Legal Aliens are phenomenal, Maggot are phenomenal, Kappa Kappa.
You realise I'm going to have to tag all these.
I know.
Yeah.
Check out Kappa Kappa. You'll love them. They're like a real like Antifa ska-core band, like ska punk stuff. There's also Crust Fun Kids, which is a great name. Hostile Objects, Laurie Rizzo, so many. And then Brisbane, which is actually like, you know, it's really hard to pick a scene, but Brisbane I really love. If you ever get a chance to get up there, there's a gentleman there called Chris Converse, and him and his partner Cass run a thing called Punk Fest. And what I dig about Punk Fest is they always had mixed bills. So like you would have an oi band playing with a melodic punk band, playing with a hardcore band, and so we find a
bit of something for everyone there.
And it really works, good. And it's really stuck because it's something that it takes a while to get in people's heads. Because I mean personally, I love it because I love so many different types of music. And what we find now is when we go to Brisbane, people come right at the start of the night. They watch all the bands, and they're close to the front watching all the bands, and so it provides this really supportive, wicked platform. And like, you know,
good for the bands, isn't it?
It's good for the bands, and it's good for the crowd. Instead of them having to say, "Come forward, come on." And it's good for the crowd too because they're seeing and hearing music they may not necessarily. Because like, you know, there's great oi bands from Brisbane. You've got Shandy, you've got Plan of Attack and stuff, but then you've also got like, you know, Flames Your Panties. There's Hits who play amazing rock and roll. 6 Foot Head, Crooked Face, and Goon on the Rocks, both of whom are phenomenal. Myrtle Place. Boho Mofos, Mouldy Lovers, we do wicked gypsy stuff. Like the Brisbane scene is really just wow, just so much wow. Yeah, man, Slodge, King Congo.
You're going to be kicking yourself now if you miss anyone out. You
know, that's the problem. Like I missed out so many. Like I need to come back to Melbourne and say like Cole Brown, I love you, Cole Brown. Like I know, man, but yeah, there's just so much out there. Like, you know, and that's not even touching the tip of the iceberg. And I guess that's why you're doing this, and that's why I play these and scream that, and you know, it's just music's just unreal, man. It's such a powerful force. course.
Well, there you go, guys. You've got quite a lot of bands you can be checking out there, but you need to check out this guy's band as well. So.
Oh yeah, Wolfpack.
Yeah, Wolfpack. You forgot to mention them. That's all right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up there, mate.
Brother,
really appreciate that. Thanks for coming on and.
Oh man, thanks for having us.
No, you're more than welcome.
Thanks for letting Luna make a guest appearance and everything.
It's all good. Good luck with the new EP.
Yeah.
No doubt I'll see you in Adelaide.
Yeah, man, Adelaide on February the. Oh, come on, brainwork. It's the 10th. Friday, February 10th at Crown and Anchor with DRI. Dirty Rock Ministers.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I might see if I can come down. What night's it on?
That's a Friday night.
Oh, I might see if I might come down and film you live or something.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I've filmed in there before. We've done the young offenders in there.
Yeah. Oh man, everyone should get down to that. Like, I mean, DRI are what? They're all in their 50s now, like late 50s. They play for an hour and a half. There's like 4 stops. I don't know how they do it. We play for half an hour and I die afterwards with like dry reaching.
Well, playing the drum and singing at the same time.
Yeah, man. So. But like, dude, there's like, these guys need a Gatorade endorsement. So I reckon so. But yeah, thank you so much again, brother.
That's it, guys. Catch you next time. Cheers, Tom.
Cheers, brother.